5 things that will make your motivation letter stand out. Number 1, the order of paragraphs. How your paragraphs are arranged is going to either give the reader the curiosity to want to continue reading or to just drop it and move on to the next one. I would advise you to go straight to the point if you are applying, let's say, to a bachelor's degree to do, let's say, bachelor's degree in medicine. Once you hit the ground started with writing, start by clearly stating your intention of doing this bachelor's degree in medicine, clearly stated, and go ahead and specify why you are choosing medicine and so on and so forth. Do not start by talking about random things about your interest in football or anything like that that's not related. Number 2, it should be precise and straight to the point. Avoid going off track as you're writing. If you need to take a break to think about what you're writing, please do it. I'll go ahead and use the same example as I've used before, which is a bachelor's degree in medicine. If you are talking about a bachelor's degree in medicine, you should be talking about what problem you have identified in the medical field in your society that you want to solve. Do not go ahead and start talking about other problems that are not related. Let's say bad roads in your country. Yes, it is a problem, but how is that related to medicine right now and to the bachelor's degree that you want to study? Number 3 is that among the first 3 paragraphs, highlight your study aspirations, why you would like to study these particular study programs. And in this case, I mean, talk about what background that you have, what subjects have prepared you, why are you interested in studying this? Have you faced a challenge in the medical field, as an example, in your country, and that has, inspired you to make a change by pursuing a bachelor's degree in medicine? Has something happened to your family member and you thought that maybe if you were a doctor, you would solve it in a different way? Have you seen any unfairness that you would like to tackle? What is the problem that you're trying to solve, and why? Why do you want to study is the whole point. In addition to your aspirations, you can talk about your academic and professional background. Now, this applies to people that have studied to a certain level, worked, and then are looking to further their education. Brag about all the good things that you have done at your workplace. If you have received any special mentions, if you have received any awards at work, mention them. This is the time to market yourself. Now, in this paragraph, it is brilliant to mention how great you are at biology, if in case you want to do, let's say, a master's in medicine. You could also talk about a research project in your, let's say, previous school or previous qualification that you did that impacted society, that was so great. Talk about the results of the research, and make sure that in this paragraph you are marketing yourself even without being in the room. Next is originality. You have got to be very original. Like, there is an anti-plagiarism test, a test that checks if you have copied or if the work you have submitted has been submitted or published before. And let me tell you, if it is more than 25%, your application is just thrown away and it's not looked at after that point. That is the first test that every motivation letter goes through. So make sure you do not go off the internet to just copy and paste from other people. I understand sometimes these things are not new, but change the wording, change the phrases, and make sure that you use experience and mention those special names, mention that special village in your country that nobody else is going to mention in the applications. And by originality, I mean, mention those special experiences that have just happened to just you. Like, for instance, say when I went to a hospital in Nakasero in Uganda, in this district, this was happening. So these special details even though the problem you're mentioning or the situation you're mentioning has been mentioned before, you mentioning these special names is going to put you at a safe side, because this shows that it happened actually in your own situation and you're not just copying and pasting. The other thing is using ChatGPT and artificial intelligence. Now, these are fantastic tools, but they're only there to help enhance your motivation letter and not to write it. Anything that's written by AI is very easy to detect. The same AI will detect it and flag it. Next, which is super important, is they're usually checking for your desire to impact society, so your social impact, and for example creation of job opportunities for other people or helping people. Usually in your motivation letter, when you are identifying the problem and you are trying to explain why you should study, it is very important to show a bit of selflessness and not be selfish, because by just wanting the degree to yourself, you just want to satisfy you. And how about the people after you, and how about the people around you? How is that going to affect them? Is it going to affect them negatively? Is it going to affect them positively? Are you going to produce lots of plastic, or a lot of a project with lots of pollution that's going to affect people, noise pollution that's actually going to make people deaf or make them complain? What is your impact on society? That is a moment for you to self-reflect, and if the answer is negative, you have got to rethink that project. If the answer is positive, then you're doing a good thing, and then your motivation letter is going to be brilliant. Is your project that you're thinking to create going to create employment for people, or is it going to take away employment? How is it going to improve the livelihoods of the people that will be, for instance, working or that will be experiencing this brilliant project that you are talking about? Last but not least, which is the root and the foundation and the main part of the motivation letter, is to develop a criteria. Now, when you develop a criteria, you assess a problem, a solution, and create a prototype. What does that mean? That means that you identify a problem. I'm still going to use the example of a bachelor's degree in medicine, and for instance, you are not happy with the way that malaria is treated among children. Why are you not happy, and what is that particular reason why you're not happy? Is it because they are overdosed, or is it because majority get this treatment and then get something else, let's say a mental illness that comes after that, or another side effect? And is this something that you would like to solve? How is it being solved right now in your country? What are the changes that you would like to bring about? An example of a prototype is, for instance, when you say that I would like to measure how bad or the depth of the hurt or the harm that a specific dose, let's say 100 ml, does to an infant between 0 and 9 months, if it is administered, let's say at midnight, or if it is administered every 3 times a day. What is the harm that it causes? And I would like to, let's say, produce a machine that is going to gauge out, that is going to measure this kind of harm, and then afterwards I would like to do A, B, C, and D, either to reduce the dosage or to increase it or to change it in some way. They're looking for you to create a positive impact. So that is not only giving you a degree once you go out to study and achieve that. It is giving you a degree, but also it is helping society. It is helping all the babies or the future babies of your society that you're going to treat. It is creating employment for the people that are going to work with you, the technology people that are going to work with you to create this machine that you want to use, in your research or anything of the sort. It shows that you have got a wider picture to help people and to become a better person in society generally, because once you create that, you have solved a very big problem in society. That was just an example. There's so many examples that you could use and so many problems. That was just an example. So I hope that it has been helpful. Let me know in the comments. Follow for more.